Welcome back to the shop. In this episode, we're working on hurt feelings. Tractor pulling, it's very important that when you turn the steering wheel, your front wheels turn. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hook the steering up in this. Stay tuned. All right, so here we are. We're working on hurt feelings this morning. You need to make a tie rod. So initially the rack mounted right here in the middle, and it had clevis on either side and then a heim joint out there. But with this gigantic oil pan on this 351 Cleveland, we had to kick the steering all the way over to the side. So I made a bracket here, and I was hoping that this was just a piece of box, drill a couple holes, through bolt it, but it's not. It is a solid block of aluminum. So drilled and tapped it on the top. I still have to drill and tap it on the bottom. I can't weld aluminum, normal ways, let alone upside down. So we'll leave this on here. It's not really gonna hurt anything. Just kicked everything over to the side. Used the heim joint part there on the rack. So I won't have any adjustment on this side, but I have everything as straight as can be. And we're gonna turn a nice aluminum tie rod to go from this little guy to that guy. And I'm actually gonna turn it reverse thread on that side and normal thread on the other, so that when you turn it, it'll actually adjust your wheel. So I'll have some adjustment for toe on this side. Not that toe is super important because we're not driving at 50 miles an hour. So we'll get it, set with the wheels nice and straight, maybe slightly towed in to keep some stability. We have just enough clearance on the shaft and the oil pan right there. So, Ford problems with the front sump. So I got this piece of 3/4 inch aluminum using a collet chuck. I was wondering how I was going to hold it in my 3-jaw and not tear it up, but I completely forgot that I had a set of collet chucks that came with this lathe. It's an old Sheldon EXL 46P. Bored this hole out. I don't have the Q drill bit, but I got one that's close enough. It's a little tight, but I'm gonna tap this normal thread, and then we'll get a length on it, and I'll slide this out, use the live center, and turn it down, and we'll get a length, we'll cut it off, face the end, drill the other end. Nice part with the collet chuck is it shouldn't tear this up too much. I might actually wait to turn it down, because then I'll have an issue with the collet chuck. I'm not a machinist. Everything I have learned the hard way by myself. So I'd set you up, but I don't have a tripod, so I'm gonna get on this and I'll reconvene when there's something to show. Well, and that's what we got. I got a little fancy with it, did some knurling, broke it up a little bit, put a little tape beer on the ends, and that's our tie rod. Nice and light, should be plenty strong. Just a McMaster Carr left-hand thread 3/8 24. Camera would focus 3/8 24 fine thread, and then that's fine thread, normal thread on that end. So it's probably the nicest knurling I've ever done. I don't have a mill, so I can't, put a couple wrench flats in it, and I figured, we'll just knurl it. So that'll go in. I'll put you down for a second. I can't do this with one hand. There it goes in there just like that. It's got a slight angle to it, but shouldn't be an issue, being that we got a pivot there and a pivot there, and then this out here. Like I said, we're not building a road race car, but let's see if it works. Yeah, they're both turning. Turn hard, but yeah, so steering is good. I do need to get the other 2 bolts and get this all tightened up. There's nothing tight, so that's part of the issue. That piece there cocked off a little bit. So, but anyways, that's the tie rod. That's the next piece of the puzzle, and then the other piece would be to drill and tap them bolts and get this piece down on there tight. That piece moved, but we're one step closer on hurt feelings.